Greetings. Join us. All right. So this is different. Hopefully I made this a little bit clearer here. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about the Trump stuff anymore. Just we always hope for the best, right? For it's just a comedy show, isn't it? Whatever. It's a movie. Yeah, I'm just kind of, yeah, I mean, on a higher level, whenever we get there, it's supposed to be, I think people are aware, already, obviously, like we're supposed to be part of like a council, not to see that, like instead of having this whole presidential thing, more of like I guess you could say in a perfect world, where they actually listen to you, because here they don't do that, obviously. All these agendas, and that's why it's so draining here. It's like a soul-sucking frequency, at least politically, of course, life-wise too. But obviously, if it's a council, and especially in society, most of it's kind of lost control over itself or stopped caring about itself, which is a good portion of it. Not everywhere. It's definitely in the U.S. It's got a big part of that. It's got to go through. It's got to go through, right? But that's one of the reasons why the country's going in this direction, because that's just such a low frequency at the tail end of it. So we have to, we're just going through it together. Of course, many are very delusional. They're not seeing what's here. Obviously, those that can see it are not letting it come through. Anyway, you talk all this crazy aliens or multidimensional stuff, and most people just aren't interested in it. So, yeah. So, I think anybody or most, a good portion can be open to it. Doesn't mean you have to believe that much into it, but always be open to what you have to say about it. You know what I mean? So, you don't have to be that interested in it, but at least be open-minded to it instead of just shut off. So, that's the world we live in. A big disappointment. So, yeah, you can't say what's on your mind, of course. The world's not ready for that yet, at least on a global level. Not yet. Like a secret war with self. Yeah, obviously that's a little bit of a complicated situation there. Just whatever it needs to be. Yeah, we'll just let whatever that what needs to come through for that. We'll just leave that one open. The one I want to go towards is the soul contract expiration. So those that, you live in your life and you might be around people that are draining you. It could be family members, it could be friends, it could be an old relationship, whatever it is. Getting that expiration date is like a new life. So getting there and even having one that's close by is nice. So it's well, if there's expiration, if there's a cutoff, like you're connected to someone and now it's over, well, there's expiration. So of course, if it's like a personal, like a romantic relationship, that's like not always a mutual thing, but sometimes you get yanked away from someone because they're going down the drain. They don't need to take you with them. Sometimes there's a case of that, but yeah. So, yeah. So just there's different ways that you can look at this, but the main thing is to cut that damn cord, which is you feel like you get your life back. Because, yeah, it's not what's cracked up to be when you're dealing around difficult individuals. I don't think I'm the only one going through that. So, yeah, this world can be very disappointing, that's for sure. I've run into that over and over again recently. Jeez. It's like one roadblock after the other. It's like, okay, you don't want to upgrade. Fine, just stay down and work. Just, sure, enjoy stay in the sewer. Okay, whatever. Do what you got to do. Whatever. It's that can also create another incarnation here. Just, aren't we here to like evolve, at some point? I keep running into individuals on a personal level that don't want to evolve at all. They might say they are, but they aren't. Not really. Not the way they treat people. It's not a very evolving there. So that's like my favorite is when like a dark entity is telling everybody how positive they are. That's why that's why you see all this toxic positivity. It's like, how many of these like so-called spiritual helpers are fucking demonic beings? You'd be surprised. And they can be the most positive beings out there, and the freaking sociopaths. So how do you think it works? How do you think all that? It's messed up. And it's in freaking religion. What a perfect place to be. Or spiritual, galactic religion, regular religion, and so on. So talk about self-help, or it's like going to see your assassin. It's an energy assassin. So this is kind of a complicated subject matters here, but the expiration one's kind of nice if you can get it. Not everybody's so lucky to get that, because it can, when you're on soul sucking frequency, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? Go be you. But if you can get away from that, that's even better, actually. I mean, obviously, you're there to work with others if they want to be helped. But if they don't want to be helped, you gotta get the hell out of there, because it'll just take you down. So if you want to dwell on the past, more power to you on that one. Jeez. Whatever. Sometimes it might take 5 or 10 years to get your mind clear. It might take like 5, 10 years longer than that to look at things differently. So anyway, it's kind of a weird subject matter here. So surviving the apocalypse. We'll survive somehow. I have no idea how, but we'll figure something out. I'm tired of coming 5 sessions. Maybe a schedule. The shop here. Also, we have the conference that's here. I haven't had time to be there, but we have the conference going on right now. I can be there like in person, and there's a schedule for that. I'm not getting a whole lot of traction on that one, so no worries. Whatever. I'm working on the next. I still have a day job too. I have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. That's fine. Every day. I'm not gonna go into stories of that one. And it's almost like 1 o'clock right now. So I was gonna say something. I forgot what it was. Doesn't matter. So. All right, so going to the secret war with self. I'm not sure how that's going to go. So many different points of view of that one, and it's not there to trigger others, but might trigger somebody who knows. Those that have like a bitter pill towards whoever, or myself, or whatever. So anyway, all right, okay, let's here we go. Grease you, the Andromedans. Connecting more to your higher selves or your higher consciousness, a neutral energy. So the war with self is usually a lack of gratitude. Of course, you might always be feeling it for others. Some do have a self-hatred. Sometimes it comes from previous incarnation. Some of it just comes from no self-fulfillment from previous incarnation. Sometimes it comes from alcoholism from previous incarnations, and a lot of dark incarnations in the past. So basically, let's put ending one's life early, sooner than it was intended to, can go into this current life with a lot of dark frequencies. And yes, you can also keep being pulled into the past. And it's complicated subject matter, and a lot of times you have to go through this dark. Obviously, some of you know the dark side of the soul to iron it out, to truly go right into it. And this is why so many are like they don't necessarily have a partner; they're just working on internal work. And then of course, if you have a partner, a lot of times you're just working on their stuff or your stuff. A lot of times it's their stuff, depending on where you are at. Well, if you're listening to this, you're probably working on someone else's stuff. So yeah, if you're working, we'll just leave it at that. But with war, if you found that you have some kind of war, also there's always like self-improvement always occurring. Doesn't mean it's a war. It's just that you're slowly also letting go of certain insecurities. Doesn't mean you have to be perfect. The idea is to find some kind of some inner peace of some sort, whatever it might be. You might not like the situation that you're in, but at least you have some kind of inner calmness. Like you feel like you're doing everything in your power to get you where you are now, and that's very important. But if you're always at war with yourself, saying, blaming everybody, this person, that person, this is why I'm not successful because of that person or whatever, that's you can clear that and move forward. If you're constantly holding on to this, to those that have crossed over, or anyone has crossed over, and not be able to let it go. Now you can grow from that if it's helping elevate you, but others they use it also as a crux to hold them back. So like instead of evolving, I'll just use this individual that crossed or whoever, or living whatever, a reason to not evolve. Happens a lot. Excuses. That's fine. But yes, it's choice, but that also kind of downgrades your frequency. And if you don't care, you don't care. To really let go of these things is not, it's up to you. There is choice, inner choice. You might not have the best choices in life, but you still have choice within yourself. And a lot of times you might not be able to make that choice and just stay in your shadow. And that's fine, but you will lose people with that. People will pull away from you. Now, if you're in more of your light and others pull away from you, it's probably for the best. That's a good thing. Where do those people go? Did you even miss them to begin with? They could be family members or whoever. That's a good thing. But if you keep dwelling on it, that won't do you any good. It's probably not good because you can also downgrade yourself if you wish. You still have free will there. Yeah, the guides can only do so much. You still have inner, you have a steering wheel. You still can drive. You don't feel like you can. Yeah, you feel like even if you give your power to someone else around your life, you can still take your power back if you want to. And yeah, there are so many that don't want to make the right choice or don't want to make a choice for themselves to give their power away instantly. That is, instead of being strong, you just choose to be weak. And it's kind of a cop out too. And this is why it's so easy to get possessed too by other entities and all that, or a family member can possess you, whatever it is. You're not willing to take responsibility for yourself. Doesn't mean you have to be perfect. You might make a lot of bad decisions, but at least you are within your, at least you're in yourself and not letting someone else rule over you. At least you're in the driver's seat. At least those are your mistakes and not someone else's. So, but the war with oneself is, there's many here obviously that don't even know it. And could be the nicest people ever. Could be the nicest. Yes, here you go. Here's this. There's this the nicest people ever, and they hate themselves the most. So just remember that. Yeah, they're there to serve you, but are they serving themselves? You'd be surprised. Yeah, they're always eager to serve everyone but themselves. So yeah, just be aware of. I think some of you are aware of it, but it's a reminder. Those that are very, even at restaurants, you have servers there, right? And some, yeah, because some of them are just they can't help serving others. Now some of them do have love for themselves, but not always. Some just want to do a good thing, and that's great. That's one thing. But some just cannot, and they feel like they're doing the right thing. I'm serving everyone but myself. I'm doing good. I'm of the light. But when you look into their soul, there's nobody there. It's empty. Grease you. Or higher consciousness, higher self, astral, higher self consciousness for many of you, you can say, or more of a positive outlook towards society. So contract energies, we say karmic court energies is part of that too. Well, they come in here with you say obligations, but it doesn't mean it has to rule over you. But there are kind of what do you call it? Spring cleanings or a to-do list, whatever you want to call it, a wish list, to-do list, whatever it is. You come in with contracts to clear. Now, some of these expired contracts can continue if it's of your highest good, can continue on for forever. If they're not for your highest good, it's going to go away. That's why I have a lot of these divorces, because after a while, the universe is even saying it's time to end this. We can't take it anymore. And usually it's those that just absolutely hate each other. But there's also those that just, they have to, suppose, like, yes, you can also come to the end of like just your journey and split up. Now, those that are holding on to that frequency can really, like, you use expiration happens, but you hold on to that expired person, whoever, yes, that can derail you even more, make things even worse for you. But it's a choice. It's going backwards, and you can take others down with you at the same time. It happens. Yeah, the lack of self-love. Now, why there isn't lack of soul-love energy there? It's just you can become obsessed with darkness, like cocaine, and you can't let it go. Like it's attractive somehow. But you can also watch yourself, disappear with that too at some point. If you keep going that direction, well, you become fractalized, and other beings can take. You think one being possessing you. What about several? So, and you have no control of yourself, like ever again. So there's that also. For those of you that are breaking or giving these expirations, yes, it is like you open up a window, especially if you're releasing those difficult frequencies. But you're leaving it open for clarity, for evolving. If you're there to evolve, and yes, when you're evolving, others might look down at you for doing that, especially the demonic realms. They don't want that. They want to rule over you, play with you. You are their toy. You are their entertainment, and you don't want any of that. Obviously, they're going to put up a fit and act like a baby, and then say you're the one acting like a baby when it's actually them. When they're the ones whining, but they're saying it's you. They can reflect their misery onto you because they're losing. And they continue to lose. The demonic beings here, they feel like they have a control over society. And for the most part, they are accurate, but not with everyone. When they lose, it looks bad on them. So that's why ascending is not as easy as it cracked up to be with self-worth. Well, you also get tired of all these low frequencies. I mean, maybe you probably incarnated and just looked at your darkness and all that, but you don't have to make it a career. and evolve, but also you want to evolve in a way where you're continuing to grow. And that's why you bring in these difficult people into your incarnations. Like, become strong enough where you can handle difficult individuals, but then again, you can't keep them around. You have to cut them off eventually. So, but yeah, you wonder why you have, we'll say it again, why you have difficult individuals around. A lot of it, now some of them are just obsessed with that frequency. But some of you feel like you're evolving, and why I'm around this difficult person? Well, because, if they want to evolve, you will help them through it, and you're learning something too. You're always learning something out of it. But, if they're wanting to evolve, they want to just sink and, and not swim, then you have to cut the cord. And imagine one of you knows a sigh of relief when that happens. Some of you that are looking for like personal relationship energies and can't find it, a lot of times it's just the vibrations are not that great. It's just not your level. Not that you're at a arrogant level. It's just vibrationally, it just can't align with you. It's like the idea is to like plug in, plug into each other. Now you might connect to a difficult individual, but they can only last so long if they're just there to bring you down. Eventually, and it's up to you to cut that cord. You can also follow them into it. Now that does happen too. You're here, you're ascending, you're going to a higher frequency, and you connect to someone that is not of a high frequency. Yes, you can go backwards with that easily. But there's sometimes, it's if you know what you're doing, you just know you're going to incarnate here again, most likely. But do what you have to do. Yeah, it's based on the individual, but like when you're doing like soul work, it's not pretty, but but others just go backwards because they're just lazy or they just don't want to evolve at all. They just want to stay, in their madness, feel sorry for themselves, whoever it is. The no self-love frequency is like they died within themselves and just not wanting to come back to life. It's not for you to bring them back to life. Only if they want to be. So, what's this?